Hello, everybody. Welcome to the episode 54 of the Hrudai podcast. Welcome back to yet another episode where conversations go beyond success and dive into purpose, leadership, passion, and human spirit. Our guest today is Navazz Shariff sir, a man whose life has been defined by discipline, duty, and dedication, from serving in the army and police forces to becoming the chief wildlife veterinarian and a general manager at the People for Animals Wildlife Rescue. If you believe leadership is about power, this episode will show you it's about purpose. Let's bring Nawaz Sharif sir on screen. Hello, sir. Welcome to the Hrudai Chetan podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being a part of this episode, sir. Looking forward to having a wonderful conversation about wildlife and about your journey.
Thank you.
You served in the army and police. What was the exact moment that shifted your heart toward wildlife conversation?
See, I'm basically an animal lover. So I'm also a veterinarian by profession. So I've been treating animals only in the army. Army also we have a lot of animal force, and in the police force also I was the first Deputy Inspector General of Police veterinary. So where I was served in the Indo-Tibetan Border Police, where they are from Ladakh to Arunachal Pradesh. So I also had trained their animals in logistics, in treatment, their manpower. So basic role was associated with the animals. So the transition in the army, we do a lot of the treatment of wildlife in some of the most remotest places in the country where there's no government machinery is present due to militants. The government machinery is not there. The vets are not there. Infrastructure is not there. But the army is there. So we do a lot of treatment. I've treated a huge grown elephant which had a glass piece in his leg in field surgery. So I've saved a lot of beer cups in North Kachar Hills of Assam and given it to Arunachal Beer Rehabilitation Center. So army we do a lot of animal, and not only this, we also do a lot of animal welfare camps to civilians because most of the civilians are very poor and their economic dependence mostly is on animals, cows, goats, fisheries, pigs. So that's the main economic dependence. So we hold camps to help the civilians to in treating these animals, deworming them, vaccinating them, and also this develops a rapport with the civilians. So they also give us some information. It's a information sharing when the militants are moving. Since the army helps them, they also share information with us.
Hmm, right. Now tell me about your childhood, the favorite moment that you had with animals or anything in your life that really touched you.
Yeah, so when I was 6 year old, I saw a dog being involved in an accident, and as a small child, I tried my best to help, but there was no help forthcoming. So I could see the dog collapse and die on the road. So this really shook my conscience. So then I decided something to do should be done. So I inquired with people, with my relatives, friends, what can be done. So at the end, it concluded the only way of helping them and reducing stress should I become a veterinarian. So that's why I had only one ambition in my life to become a veterinarian. I had no ambition of taking up any other profession. So I stood fast by that, becoming a veterinarian. So in the army also the veterinarian, the police I was a veterinarian, and also here in the wildlife, I'm the chief wildlife veterinarian here.
Wow, amazing, sir. How did your identity change when you moved from wearing a uniform of authority to one of compassion?
The authority teaches control, but compassion teaches connection. So my identity shifted from enforcing discipline to nurturing coexistence. Both are service. One protects people and the other protects wildlife.
Hmm, right. So now, how do you define wildlife as?
See, wildlife. So we basically, if you take me as a where I'm heading the People for Animals Wildlife Conservation Center, it's a rescue center and also a hospital. We are basically here treating the urban wildlife. So
Mm,
basically, the wildlife which lives in the city. So we have so far rescued and treated and released back. We are a conservation center. We are not a zoo. We don't keep animals here. We rescue them. They are in distress, we treat them, we rehabilitate them, and release them back into nature. So, release them back into wildlife. So, we have rescued almost 50,000 animals
mm,
of amazing in an urban scenario. If you see 235 different species, so almost around 9,000 cobras, so 11,000 black kites, what people call eagles, and a huge number of squirrels, monkeys, so many rare species like the pangolins, the Egyptian vulture. We rescued leopard cubs and pythons, civet cats, slender lorises. So huge number of animals.
mm. Amazing. So, what was that emotion in your body after you rescue an animal?
See, rescuing animal are voiceless. So in India, so there is a huge gap as far as the animals are concerned. So people, the general public is not very sensitive, but it's very heartening to know that there's a lot of compassion coming. So wildlife, there are very limited rescue centers. In if you take Bengaluru, there's a lot of about there are 20 rescue centers as for the dogs and other domestic animals are concerned. There's no ambulatory where ambulances. So if you take the Bangalore scene, it is highly urbanized. So moving from one place to another takes a lot of time. So you need ambulances, vehicles. So that's why we have here five four-wheeler ambulances and I have eight two-wheeler ambulances. So which can move fast in Bangalore traffic. So you need to reach to an animal faster. So it's like the golden hour in human beings also. If it's an electrocuted or accident animals, how much faster you reach and stabilize the animal, treat the animal, give aid to the animal, and move it to a rescue hospital. That much faster, you save a life.
Right. Now, for an example, if a normal person sees a animal injured, can we contact any emergency animal number as we have human emergency numbers in hospitals?
Yeah, in Bengaluru, we have like our rescue center has four numbers, four helplines. So they are manned from 8 o'clock in the morning up to 11 o'clock in the night. So there are four helplines. So as soon as we get there's a rescue coordinator with us. As soon as you get a rescue call, the rescue coordinator connects with the informer and tells him what to do and what not to do, and sends him a WhatsApp message in like in Bangalore in English and in Kannada. So if it
Mm,
is a bird, if it's a snake, it's a mammal, reptile, what to do. Many a time people see a bird, they think they're doing a great job by trying to feed it water.
mm,
Unfortunately, you should never force water. So they force water and goes into the lungs, and the
mm,
bird might die due to foreign body pneumonia. There's supposed to be air in the lungs, not water. So many things
mm,
happen. So we tell people what to do and what not to do. And we also have a network of volunteers all over Bengaluru. If you are going to take such time to come there, we contact the volunteer to reach to the spot as soon as possible and stabilize the crowd and stabilize the animal. So, like if it's a bird, we tell them to take it and put a cover the eyes. First of all, you should cover the eyes of all the animals because they
mm,
see strangers, strange place. Like a wild animal doesn't know that we are coming to help. The wild animal always thinks there's somebody coming to harm it. So it'll try to bite, claw, it will get more stressed. So first you have to cover the eyes with a cotton cloth so that the animal doesn't see what's going on. Lift it gently. We tell them put it in a cardboard box with holes and keep it there till we come there.
mm. Right. So you're saying that when an animal is injured, don't give it water, don't force it water.
Don't do anything. Just stabilize the animal, keep it safe till we come because wildlife is quite different. So you should never force to do anything. If you, like a snake or something, if you go near, it'll try to bite you, even though if it
Mm,
is injured. So don't do anything. Just watch the animal. If you can keep it in a safe place, like a bird, lift it, do it. Otherwise, just watch the animal, what is happening, and keep us informed. We will reach. Looking at Bangalore, the traffic is quite high. We will come. It may take some time, but we'll be there.
Right. Was there resistance internally or externally when you decided to change your path?
No, no, I've not changed my path. I've been in the saving animals, in the animal welfare right from the start. So this gives me a lot of peace, compassion. So if we have saved lots of animals, I've done surgeries, treated many animals. So even many a time in the army also, I call it wrestling with the yama. So the animal is going to die, but I wrestle with that animal, try to save it. And if you can save an animal, that's a huge satisfaction that we have saved a life. Even though, like human beings, the animal doesn't thank you or whatever, but the satisfaction and the the peace you get in saving a life is enormous.
So what does service truly mean to you today?
See, it's basically in the military and this one police. So the core thing is the discipline. So discipline ensures precision. In rescues, seconds matter. Where are we doing? So even in treating animals in the army or in the wildlife here, so whether handling a venomous snake or stabilizing an injured bird, so my training taught me to stay calm. You got to stay calm many a time. So blood is spurting all around you. There's no point in getting panic. So staying calm under pressure, and the calmness keeps your mind active and it saves lives.
Hmm. So why do you think that Wildlife Day is celebrated on March 3rd and what should we do?
See, there are a lot of issues with the wildlife. So, one and foremost is the increasing human population and the enormous habitat destruction. That's
Hmm.
one and the main threat and enemy to wildlife. So, wildlife habitat destruction is happening at 160,000 square kilometers every year. That is a huge one. So, just imagine what has happened before, what is happening now, what will happen in future. So if you just take the case of the what happened in Telangana recently, so they say somebody says 1,000 JCBs were bought, somebody says 2,000 JCBs were bought, and trying to clear the forest patch for developing IT. So luckily the Supreme Court involved. So the habitat destruction is happening at a phenomenal level. So that's why that increases the huge already present man-human conflict. So we are going into their habitat. So many a time we get a call here in Kannada, sir, ಹಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. So the snake is, if you translate it, the snake has come into my home, when it is actually the other way around. So
Yeah.
the new apartments have been built in their dwelling places, the snakes. So the snakes are in the dwelling places. We have intruded. So we got a call. It's how namanil bandide. That's not correct. Actually, we have gone in there, sir. So there's a huge habitat destruction. As a consequence of that is the climate change. So climate change we see in the last 50 years in the North Pole, 3-degree shift.
Hmm.
And if you take the Indian subcontinent, it's almost 1 degree shift. That's a huge shift. So so no wonder you have so many floods in the northeast. This time Uttarakhand, the monsoon has shifted, the winter has shifted, so the temperatures are increasing. So all due to man-human conflict, man going into their habitats. So this has to be controlled, and people have to be made conscious that wildlife or ecology is non-negotiable. So wildlife is the foundation of our survival. Protecting biodiversity is like protecting ourselves.
Hmm. Right. So in crisis situations, whether human or animal, what mindset keeps you steady?
So it's my experience over the years. So because getting nervous, this one does not help at all. Nor does it help the animal, which is already under huge stress. So many a time we saved a leopard cub recently. It was 7 month old. It got hit by a two-wheeler and went under a bus. So we got a call, and by the time we reached, so here like I've learned from the army. So I have put up a quick reaction rescue team. Like in the army, we have a QRT, quick
mm,
reaction team, always ready. A militant attack or something, the troops are ready. They move immediately. So exactly like that, I have got a quick reaction rescue team here. It's always ready team. So as soon as we get a call of a distress animal, the vehicle already moves with the
mm,
veterinarian on the road. So the location and all is being fed by the rescue coordinator when the vehicle is already in the move. So when we got the leopard call, my vehicle was already on. I also went along. We went along. We already on the move, and then the rescue coordinator fed, and within 8 minutes we were at the spot. So
mm,
that looking at Bengaluru, that's really fast. We were there. We found the leopard cub had gone under the bus into the battery box. There was a huge crowd around, and the animal was really stressed. We had to control the crowd. So we had to. We used the bus conductor and everybody to push the crowd out. And there was the leopard cub was hit by a two-wheeler, so there was a chance of head injury. So we didn't want to sedate the cup there. We gently pulled out from the under the battery box. So this is there in the YouTube also about a couple of months ago. So we pulled it out. So it was trying to claw at us. We luckily got him, and we put him. We brought him here. We sedated him here. We did a scanning, and luckily everything was okay with the cub. And I personally decided that I'll put back the cub in the same forest patch where we found it. So,
mm,
according to the rule, the leopard, if caught, has to be given to Banarghatta.
mm,
So I didn't want to put it into Banarghatta because I was told the mother was seen around that area. So I wanted to
mm.
put it back in the same patch. So then I had a deep conversation with the principal conservator of forest, wildlife warden, and convinced him. So instead of giving to Banarghatta, so let me have a chance. Let me put it back. So the same night we went back, we played the sound bites of the cub in the speaker. We put the urine trail of the cub. We tried to get the mother, but the mother didn't turn up. But we released 3 o'clock in the morning. We released the cub. So that was a huge satisfaction. So that the cub has not been seen. So we got a report that afterwards the mother was seen with two cubs. So which we presume one of them was the one we released.
Wow. The kind of happiness you get after
Yeah,
this is done.
there's no, not only this release, any release, putting an animal back into wildlife, into ecology, into its habitat, releasing when you see a bird flying back with bird was injured, the wings, your snake slithering away, or a black-eyed eagle going away, or a slender loris going back nocturnally, climbing the trees. There's no satisfaction
Mm.
compared to this, putting a back animal back into the wild where it belongs. So that gives huge satisfaction to the whole team and to us.
Right. So, what is the difference between commanding people and leading with compassion?
So commanding is about obedience. So compassionate leadership is about inspiration. So when my team sees me cradle a wounded animal, treat an animal which has lost conscience, coming back into consciousness, so they just don't follow orders. So they share the mission. They see what is happening. So that that is what team spirit is about.
Mm. What leadership lessons can young people learn from your journey?
See, you have to, first of all, for in life, in anything, there has to be discipline. So
Mm,
without discipline, core discipline, discipline is the foundation of everything. So there are some protocols to be followed. So if you're disciplined in life, whatever you do, so whether you're in IT, you're in the hospitality industry, you're in the military, you're in the paramilitary. So discipline is the foundation. If you have discipline and you know what you're doing, so the younger generation has to think about ecology. So the sparrows are disappeared. So many species are disappearing all over. So what will the younger generation, the future generation see if the wildlife disappears? So the ecology has to be protected. The snake plays a very important role in ecology. He's the only guy who devours rodents. So he is a farmer's friend. So he has to be protected. He ha he has no intention of harming a human being. So
Mm,
only few the snakes have venom, two or three species, and that venom God has given them to paralyze the prey to eat. It's not to use human being. The snake is not all interested. He can't see, he can't hear. He's one of the helpless reptiles. But he's the only guy who goes underground and controls the rodents. And the research has proven that 40% of a crop is destroyed by the rodents of a farmer. Even now, the
mm,
latest research says you dig up any burrow in a field, you'll find them full of seeds, the rodents. So what does the farmer do? He just pumps in pesticide. The pesticide
mm.
doesn't affect the rodents because they live underground. So all these pesticides goes into vegetables and fruits and come back to us. So that is the reason we're having so much of cancer. A guy who's not smoked there's cigarette in his life is or dying of lung cancer. So these are the guys who play a great role. So all this ecology needs to be protected. So each insect, each animal, each bird has a role to play. God has got everything a role to play. So you take out that from the ecology, then you're asking for disaster for human being. So let ecology be there. So you should protect ecology. So we are living in a Gandhian era. Gandhi was our father of the nation. So he taught non-violence. So we should protest against anything which affects the climate, the environment, the ecology. We should protest, and also we are in democracy. And protest really matters. So many things are, like the Telangana thing, the protested to Supreme Court. It really helped. So that really helps.
So there are many cases where a few animals escape from the forest and comes into the city. Yeah? And how does this happen?
So this is basically it's a offshoot of the man-animal conflict. So there's a habitat loss. So there seems to be so many road accidents,
Mhm.
electrocution, power lines, pollution, urban sprawl fragments, ecosystem, living animals are vulnerable and disoriented. So the way we are expanding, we are going into their territory. So naturally, what will they do? So we get many calls of the monkeys. The scientific name is bonnet macaques coming into the city apartment. So many people tell us, "Okay, sir, the apartment it has come in." So basically, we tell people all animals come to a place for a reason. So it's not like I want to just take a stroll here in MG Road or Brigade Road with no reason I go there, just roaming around. Animals never do that. So there is a reason. Either there's a food or they are answering mating calls. So we tell the apartment owners, please don't feed the animals. So some of them feed due to religious connotations. Some people are against them, some are for them. And then the newest trend nowadays is this Swiggy and Zomato. So everybody orders food, they eat 20% and throw the rest of it. The garbage disposal is not good. So to eat this, the animals come. So we tell them, don't feed animals. If they are in apartment, they are getting easy access to food. So all this garbage is not disposed properly. Monkeys come to eat them. Rats come to eat them. To eat the rat, the snakes come. So everywhere there is a human angle.
Mm,
So human being is always involved in this.
right. What are the biggest threats wildlife faces in urban India today?
So I told you just now, I told you the one is the greatest is the habitat loss. I mean, the greatest and the worst is the huge habitat loss, like I told you. And then animal moving from one part to another, getting electrocuted. And one greatest thing is the use of the Chinese manja, or what you call the silk manja or the plastic manja. So during Sankranti, but I have seen this. It is almost all through in Bengaluru. So when the kite gets cut, this thread gets entangled into trees at 80, 100, 120 feet. So all these black kites, the eagles, they're predators. They're looking for rodents
Mm,
which are in the ground. So within second it goes. So they come down like a missile. When they pass through this foliage with these threads hanging, they badly get entangled. So many years ago, they used to the people used to use cotton manja. So when they used to get entangled, they used to struggle. The cotton manja used to break. They used to get free. So now the plastic manja has a struggle. It cuts deeper more. So we get cases where the wing has severed, or they have lost feathers, fractures. So we
mm,
get calls at the bird flapping at 80 or 100 feet from the ground. So previously we used to ask the fire department to come. So when they hear it's a bird, they don't come. So even if they come, their big vehicles don't go into the alleys. So
mm,
we picked up the technology from the coconut growers of Kerala, where they use an interlocking pole to break coconuts. So now we are using that to rescue these birds caught in manja. So we get around 2 to 3 to 4 calls out of the 20-25 calls every day about this manja entanglement. So it's only the big birds which people see from the ground and inform us. There
mm,
must be many medium and small birds. They must be getting entangled, and all of them must be perishing. So we have taken up a campaign from 6 years. We've been camping to ban this Chinese or the plastic manja in Karnataka. So luckily, after writing to the chief minister, trying to meet him, the wildlife guys, so the police guys, we finally were successful. The government of Karnataka has officially banned this manja in October 2025. The ban this manufacture, import, sale, and all this. It has to be implemented now on the ground.
mm.
So, but it's banning this manja.
Right. Yeah. So you use techniques like electro-acupressure. How important is innovation in conservation?
So innovation in every step, technology has to grow, and it's been my mission to improve every time so that we can heal the animal faster, reduce the stress, and a main aim of putting the animal back into the wild.
Mm,
So the first technique we are doing, which is unique to PFA Bengaluru, is imping of the birds. So
mm,
imping is attaching feathers of the same species back to the bird which has lost the feathers. So, like the manja injury, if it gets caught, it keeps flapping, it loses a lot of feathers. By the time we use the interlocking pole to get the bird down, so now it has lost so many feathers, it can't fly. So, if you
mm,
release this bird, the feral dogs will eat them up. So, if you have, we have to keep them for 4 to 5 months till the real mold regrows. So what we have done is we have created a feather bank here. So this is the first of the type of feather bank in the country. So we have feather bank for 34 birds. So we pick up feathers which are naturally fallen, and we have put up many boards in and around in our web parks with the posters in English and Kannada that if you find a feather, pick it up and put it in a collection box below the poster.
mm,
So we have also told them what we do with the feathers. So we
mm,
collect the feathers, we clean them, vacuum clean them, and then we attach these feathers of the same species back into the bird which has lost the feathers. So artificially, we attach this with the socket in. We're cutting the natural damaged feathers, and these birds which we have imped, so they can be released after we do a flight test. We release this bird can be released back in 24 hours. So the
mm.
bird, which should have been in a cage with a lot of human imprinting for 3 to 4 months, can be released overnight. So it's a miracle surgery. It's a miracle giving a new life to the bird. So we have done this with many birds, basically the eagles, black kites, peacocks, peahens, barn owls, house crow, jungle crow, and many such species, parakeets, rose-ringed parakeets. So we have feather a bank, like I told you, for almost 34 birds. So we maintain that. And we also exchange the feathers with other rescue centers whenever they need. Then the other technique we do is the acupuncture. So when we are using JCBs to clear the areas for new dwelling places, the snake gets caught into the JCB, there's only one bone, that is the vertebral column, and that breaks. And when it breaks, the JCB clears and throws down the vertebral column breaks. So we get calls about vertebral column fractures. We rescue the snake. It takes us 45 days to stabilize the fracture. Then the area below the fracture gets paralyzed. So the nerve connection goes. So previously we used to use conventional method of UV light, hot water
mm,
bath, physiotherapy and all this. It used to take 4 to 5 months by the time the
mm,
sensation comes back to the snake. So now we use the latest physio laser and we use acupuncture in snakes. So acupuncture in snake is not being done anywhere in the world. Maybe the Chinese do it, but they're not sharing it. They're not sharing this. So now we use acupuncture, and now we have graduated from acupuncture to electroacupuncture. So through the needles, we are passing a low-level electricity, so that extra blood supply comes and it hastens the nerve regeneration. So
mm,
that the paralysis goes. So this way, we have treated many snakes. The snake which should have taken 4 months for rehabilitation, now he can be released in about 1.5 to 2 months. So that's great technology. So this reduces the pain and the stress also in these animals. And the greatest thing is we can put them back into nature faster.
mm. So innovation is equally important for animals also.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is really important.
Have you ever lost hope during a rescue? How did you overcome it?
No, no, there is no. We battle like I told. I do. We do a battle with the Yama, so we don't let the animal go. So we try till the best. But of course, so we being a critical case center, sometimes we do lose animals. So that is there. That's part of the job. So, but we try all our best. What all the technology has to offer. So we have a CO2 lasers. So we have many advanced tool which is available anywhere in the world. So we are a high tech wildlife hospital. So we use all technology what is available to save an animal, and experience matters. So all around with that, compassion, kindness to save animal. We never lose hope.
Mm, mm. So how has working with voiceless beings changed you as a human?
It has softened me from inside for many years. So, so watching them, so being a veterinarian, it's not only the treatment, so it's
Mm,
a wholesome management. So I watch the animal, how is it behaving, how is it eating, how is it passing nature's call, how is it, I mean, what is happening is change the behavior because they don't have voice. You see, I always maintain the veterinarian has to be a magician, a
mm,
maverick. It's so easy for a human being telling, sir, I have a pain, I have a pain in my nose, you go to ENT specialist, gastroenterologist, dentist, or whatever. So many specializations. The animal, first of all, you can't talk. So, so you have to be a great magician with experience, and even the diagnostic tools in animals are limited, not like human beings, it is vast. So all this put together, first you got to diagnose what is the animal suffering from, which organ in the animal is suffering from. So
mm,
that needs a lot of experience, and that needs a lot of observation along with the clinical instruments and tools and parameters.
mm.
Your experience in management matters. So that really helps.
Right. So how do you deal with emotional burnout?
See, you have a discipline, and you have over the years. So we have. I've seen soldiers dying in my arms in the army. So you rise to the occasion, and there's no question of burnout. So we are in the business of saving lives and saving the voiceless life. So I have not encountered any burnout. Uh,
Mm.
I'm always there for them.
What message would you give to the youth who are searching for purpose?
See, be kind and compassionate to animals. So I've always advocated keep a earthen pot with water at a shady place for the animals, for the animal to have a drink. We don't advocate any feeding of the wildlife. So for the birds to have a bath, and plant native species always, and be with ecology, and don't use plastic. So I have operated on many cows. I've taken out kgs of plastics, and plastics have created havocs in many other animals. So ban plastics. So you argue your parents, friends, anybody to use for shopping or anything, use jute bags. And like I told you, be anything with the ecology, you should protest. You feel
mm,
anything is happening, you
mm,
should protest. And if you find any injured animal, you should call a rescue center. So we are here, like PFA, all our rescues are free unless you want to donate anybody. We are a charitable organization. Voluntarily you want to donate. Otherwise, I'm happy to go even to 80 kilometers one way to save a small bird. So that saving life gives huge satisfaction.
mm,
Whatever is a small bird, is it a mammal, or is it a spotted deers? We have saved many, or the leopard cub. So saving any life gives us huge satisfaction. First, we got people got to tell us there's an injured animal. So you got to inform us. So you should inform and drive responsibility, especially if you're driving anywhere in the jungle or something. We find so many injured animals being hit, snakes being run over. So all this, so do responsible driving. So getting late by 5 or 6 minutes is not going to matter at all. You're going to kill an animal, or you're going to kill yourself somewhere. So drive responsibly, and awareness is a key. So be aware and be a
mhm,
part of saving the ecology.
mm. So, why do you believe wildlife protection is directly connected to national security?
See, all this are interlinked. So we should stop seeing conservation as a hobby. So just as we guard borders, we must guard forests,
Mm,
rivers, and species. So national security is incomplete without ecological security. This is what I have maintained always, always. So unless you don't save ecology, so now I was I was in the army and the police. I was trying to save the country from external aggressors.
mm,
Uh, so now I am trying to save these animals and the ecology from human beings. Now, human
mm,
being is the greatest aggressor. So national security is incomplete with ecological security. So the ecology has to be saved. Otherwise, there'll be no future.
mm. Right. So, what policy or mindset change is urgently needed in India?
So the first is awareness. So awareness is lacking. So that's why even here we have a very active ecological education program, what we call triple E program. So we have an outreach division which goes to schools, colleges, and tells the
Mm,
younger children, especially I'm targeting 10 to children between 10 to 18 years. They are the guy who soak in or younger than 10 years. So we tell them who are the pollinators. So many a time, so the many a time people think like the Amazon forest or some forest. So it has not come out by itself. So
mm,
the pollinators have played. So the seed dispersal has been done by the animals. So and many animals are natural pest controllers. Uh, so like the eagles, the crows, they clear the city of organic waste. So each animal has a role
mm,
in nature. So that has to be maintained, respected, and ecology has to be saved.
mm. Right. How can schools include wildlife awareness practically, not just theoretically?
Yeah, so that's why part of that program we get schools here. We get about one or two schools every week. So we give
Okay.
them audio visual presentation of all the rescues that we have done, how we have saved animals, and we take them around the shelter and show them
Mm,
like how we feed a squirrel kitten. It takes
mm.
squirrel kitten. We have around 60 or 70 squirrel babies today,
Okay.
where the mothers have died or lost. where people are informed us how we give them goat milk, egg yolk, and honey combination drop by drop in a syringe. So how we have to stimulate their GIT tract after giving, how it takes 15 to 20 minutes to feed each squirrel kitten. So imagine having 60 of them. And small birds, we have to take the food and with the pincers go near the beak and act like the mother. If you do two, three times, then it opens the beak. You have to put in. So the monkey babies which have died due to electrocution or what, they need to be fed milk every 2 hours. So these children, we show them actual feeding of animals, how difficult it is to raise them. So all these children who have been sensitized by us, I mean, this is what we want to spread all over. So in their life, what they have seen, they're never going to forget how we
mm,
showed them the feeding of an animal. So they're never going to harm any animal, ecology, environment ever in their life. So
mm,
we get a good feedback, especially of these children from their parents when they go back. They tell us, sir, yes, my son, daughter has started putting off lights, closes taps, and I mean, so many things. So this is the change we are looking for from the children.
yes. So, how can social media be used positively for wildlife conservation?
That's what we like. We have a good campaign of sharing all our rescues. We tell how we rescued, who informed us, what happened. Like we do a manja rescue. We go and remove the manja in all around the trees
Mm,
in that portion. We try to get all the children and show the bird to them how it has harmed them, and ask them they should not use manja. They should not use this plastic manja to fly kites. So we educate all those children and all the children visiting us, the corporates visiting us. We have a no manja campaign. We at the end of the visit, we ask them to take an oath
mm,
how this manja has killed birds. How many this year itself in Sankranti there were 9 to 10 deaths all over the country in human beings, where the manja slit many people's throat in UP, a couple in Karnataka and one or two in Telangana. So we teach them, we campaign all this, we sensitize them. So I've done a couple of TEDx talks, I've done many webinars, and we are getting lots of. I mean, that has really helped. We're getting a lot of rescue calls now, previously which were not there. So we are getting, so this we have set up many of our stalls in malls, educating people in many of the school fairs. So this has really helped. So we want to do this in a large scale, especially the environmental ecological education program. We want to reach out to school children in the villages. So all our
mm,
school team, and they talk in Kannada, in English also, the sensitization program. So we want to reach out and sensitize them. So this has really helped, and we are getting a lot of increased rescue calls. So this must be a direct result of the awareness program.
right. In today's teenagers ignore biodiversity, how will 2050 look like?
Nothing is done, if nothing is done urgently now, so 2050 will be really barren. So that is why it is a wake-up call, and it is I mean, a really violent wake-up call for us to save ecology, protect plants, save trees. You see, if you take Bangalore itself, so 50 years ago, 70% of it was green.
Mm,
So now the latest Indian Institute of Science 2025 says 1.2% of Bangalore is green. 1.2. So
mm,
rest is all red. The satellite picture shows it is concrete jungle. It's concretized. So even if you get good rains, there's no seepage of water. So look what has happened. So it's a wake up call. So the younger generation has to wake up, and the older generation also has to wake up. So that's why we print many of our rescue stories in the newspapers and
mm,
Instagram and Facebook, how we have gone through rescues, and how it matters, what ecology matters, how saving wildlife matters.
mm, right. Now we often see road signs saying go slow, animal crossing. How serious should people take these signs?
They should take these signs very seriously. So because all these with the safari being introduced now and all this, so many of the animals are nocturnal. So the huge number of them are nocturnal. They come out only in the night. So
Mm,
they need to be protected. And naturally, if a nocturnal animal, if it sees a human being, if it thinks life in danger, it's a danger to both of them, from the human being
mm,
to the animal and from the animal to the human being. So driving safely and avoiding, first of all, the safaris and all, including. So how will anybody feel if I'm coming, intruding into your home without telling you and trying to see you and watching you like you are a zoo piece or something? It doesn't, because animals are not used to all this. They're not used to human beings. So there are many spotted deers in Turali forest, which is across our center. So many of the stray dogs, when they go near them itself, they get paralyzed and they die. They have a condition known as captive myopathy. So due to phenomenal increase of stress hormone, the heart stops, shock, they die. So whatever you do, it's very difficult to save them. So best thing is to avoid all this. And of course, now the government, as Bandipur and Nagaroli, again reintroduced safari in the afternoons. So this human intrusion is bad, is really bad for animals, and also vice versa for human beings also.
mm. Now, what actually happens when drivers ignore wildlife crossing warnings?
That's what they either they hit some animal crossing, so they may also get, if it is a big animal, a gore or a big spotted deer crossing, so the chance of they also getting badly injured and the animal, but of course the animal is the worst sufferer as usual. So small animals crossing, they get injured. So we get many cases of snakes being run over
Mm,
in two or three places with vertebral column. So it is basically more of the animals getting injured. So we need new technologies for this. So we need corridors, like in the European countries, they have corridors where
mm,
the animals are passing with the overhead bridges where the different animals can pass underneath. So we need to do this, and we need to do this at as soon as possible. So we got to save these animals. We need to have wildlife animal friendly corridors, especially
mm,
all the roads which are passing through limited forests. We need to do this. So we need to have this electrical lines which are overhead. It should be underground. So I have really, I mean, I've been doing canvassing for this. So even though there's a huge investment involved, but now that we have a lot of IT companies, we have corporate social responsibilities, all these power lines should go underground in a phased
mm,
manner. So this itself can save a lot of animals being electrocuted or caught in these electrical lines. So rest of the campaign we are doing, so we got to have good wildlife corridors all over the country. And next best thing is getting this all these power lines, all these lines underground. And we also been campaigning for having saving elephants
mm,
uh, in road crossings or train crossings.
mm,
So there are many new technologies in this which can be done, and they are very easy. Uh, like we have advised in the Turali forest itself that the forest guard can easily get low cost drones and watch where the herd is moving, so that
mm,
a watch could be kept and see if the where the dogs are moving, where the herd of the spotted deers are maintaining. If there is a issue where you can go faster, if the dogs are around, they can be chased away. So many things can be done, and it's not at all costly nowadays. So hardly 50, 60,000 you can get a drone. So many
mm,
things can. The technology has moved so fast, we can use that to save wildlife.
mm. Why are forest entry gates closed after sunset?
So that's obviously because of human beings going in. So we have this problem here also in Purali. People trying to go out in the night, going intruding inside and having a small parties, some liquor parties, cards, playing around with them. So all this human activity really disturbs animals. So they have a schedule of their living, how they live, how they mate, how they hunt. So all the human intrusion inside really puts them off, so
Mm,
disturbs them to a large extent. So
mm,
naturally they are afraid for their lives. So human being the biggest enemy of wildlife. I could say all animals also.
mm,
So they are scared. So they will not come out. They will not hunt. They will not mate. So the whole thing goes haywire. So wildlife should be in wild. Uh, so human beings, there's no need for our policy has been no need for human beings going into wildlife habitats. So we are against zoos also, but if it is really you want to see an animal, go and see it in a zoo. So don't go into conserved or limited forests.
right. So are animals more active at night?
Yeah, yes, the many nocturnal animals. So you'll be amazed to know that one family of barn owls, which goes out only in the night, can devour up to 3,000 rodents. So they do a great job. So you don't give it a medal. So but they do a great job. The snakes eat rodents. So the slender loris, the many animals, the bats, they eat flies, mosquitoes, insects which are transmitting many diseases to human beings. Thereby, these flies, insects are intermediate host to diseases. By devouring them, they are cutting off the chain. They act as natural pest controllers. So human beings should allow these animals to do the job.
Mm,
What is the job? What nature has given them. So there's no need of having chemicals being poured into our bodies. That is the reason so many people are dying of cancers, of heart attacks. So all these chemicals building up into the country. So these animals do a very good job of natural pest controlling. So the water birds, they do a natural pest controllers. Jungle crows, the black kites, Brahmini kites, barn owls, snakes, they all got us created, all of them with a reason. So we should allow them to do. So that's what, if it's a chain reaction. The ecology is a chain. So you don't interfere with the chain, the human being, as usual, the human being interferes with the chain. That's where the problem starts.
mm. What risks increases if people enter forest at night?
No, that's what I told you. It's a both ways. So the if you suddenly come across an animal, so the animal also will try to save itself and will attack a human being. So it's vice versa. So the many animals, their habitats are being disturbed. So you should allow nature to do its work. So all the nocturnal animals can work only in the night, only in the nocturnal. So daylight, they are blind, they can't see. So we should allow nature to do its work.
Mm,
So when the human being goes in the night with bright lights and all, trying to poach them, disturb them, or whatever, so it is disturbing. It's like somebody coming into my home and disturbing me, staying there and disturbing me. So my whole schedule, my whole life cycle will go into haywire.
right. How do forest departments balance protection and tourism?
And that is where is always see the now why is the tourism? So if you take, why are they allowing safaris? It's for money. Basically for money. What else? What else are they going to gain? So all these people going in open jeeps and standing near animals and talking, and many of the other foolish guys trying to take selfies and clicking cameras loudly, click, 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 and going near them, disturbing them. So like I told you, they all are not used to human beings at all. So it's an intruder. So their stress hormones, the whole body goes into fight or flight mode.
Mm,
Like somebody is attacking you, what will you do? If you're strong enough, you'll try to fight. If not, you're trying to run away. So the
mm,
animal goes into stress, flight and fight mode. So in this process, the human being also is involved, attacked. So you must have heard a recent safari incident in Banarghatta
mm,
where there was a claw injury and all. So why ask for this? So the forest department, in my opinion, so now there are a lot of CSR fundings. So with the IT industry having developed so much and there's so much of huge funds, so you should approach them for
mm.
funding to conserve forest or whatever for your projects, rather than putting human beings which are not at all necessary for animals. Already the ecology, the wildlife is in danger. By putting these human beings in the safari or something, absolutely you're not trying to, you're not helping the wildlife, you're not helping the conservation at all.
Right. What should someone do if they see an animal crossing the road?
That's all. First of all, I said you should do when you're crossing in the places where the animals are there, you should slow down. So basically, go slow and keep your lights dim. And if you see an animal, just stop. It's hardly going to take 2, 3, 5, or 6 minutes. The animal will cross. Especially if some of the wildlife has young animals, it is worried about its young ones. It may move here and there, trying to gather the young ones. So you're not going to lose anything. So hang around, even if it takes half an hour, how does it matter? You're trying to save a life and you're trying to save yourself also being attacked and you're trying to save that helpless, voiceless animal. So go slow, be kind, be compassionate.
Amazing. So now when we come to the last part of this episode, that will be rapid fire questions, one round, sir. Are you excited for this?
Yeah, yeah, I'm always excited for anything which
Amazing.
helps the wildlife.
Amazing. Let's go for it. Army or wildlife?
So it is both, yeah. So I can't say I love in wildlife. I had I mean, we are doing a great job now. So army is a uniform I love, and wearing that uniform, I've been able to save so many animals and help so many civilians which are dependent on animals for their livelihood. I love them both.
Discipline or compassion?
So again, here it is both. So if you have a good discipline, compassion also comes around with it. It's a combination of both. So I would feel discipline increases your compassion, your understanding, your sensitiveness.
Hmm. Forest or city?
No way. I love forest. I would love to remain in forest permanently.
Sunrise or night?
Yes, and see, both have same, I mean, importance. Night patrol, I don't know for what does it mean? I have no idea. So obviously, sun gives a lot of things to so many human beings, animals. It gives vitamin D and so many other things. Obviously, without sun, there's no life.
Hmm.
Obviously, sunrise.
Rescue or release?
So release is always. So rescue also plays a very important role that saves lives. And at the end of it, release. Release gives so much of compassion when you see the bird flying away, or the snake slithering away
Hmm.
fast. So if you're putting a tortoise in the water, it's swimming away. The snake is going away. The monkey is scampering away. So
Hmm.
all this gives you so much of compassion and so much gives you there's no joy compared to anything when you're putting an animal back into the wild.
Hmm. Right. Courage or patience?
So again, here both the things matter. For you got to be a good professional and properly to approach a wild animal to for treating like we do because animal does not understand. The snake also doesn't understand that we're trying to help. That
Hmm.
they don't know that we are veterinarians, we are conservationists. So they think everybody is coming to harm. They attack. So you need certain basic courage to go forward and hold them to treat them, and of course, patience. So, without rehabilitation, like I told you, it takes 15 minutes to feed one squirrel baby. We're having 60 of them. We have so many birds. We have 350 animals today. So, rehabilitating them, training them, growing them so that they can fend for themselves. When we release them back into the wild, They should defend for themselves. So that needs lot of patience, compassion. Treatment is easy, but this is
mm,
very tough. Rehabilitating an animal is a very tough job. So it needs lot of qualities which unfortunately many of our human beings lack: compassion, kindness, patience. So all this is required.
right. One word for wildlife.
So that is resilience. Yeah, should have resilience.
One animal you deeply connect with.
So when I connect with lots of animals because each one has a role to play. So my favorite are the eagles, or what people call eagles, actually the black kites, which thankfully due to the garbage situation in Bangalore, they are proliferating at a high rate. So they are not having nesting places. So many of them are trying to nest at signals and at the traffic signals post, and when the young ones trying to fly, they are falling on the ground, getting run over. So they are one of my favorite birds because they control the city for rodents, and they clear the city of the organic waste, and they do a very good job.
Most misunderstood animal.
Is always a snake. Uh, so it plays such a great to ecology by controlling rodents and all this, and many people harm it because, like I told you, only if I take Bengaluru, only four type the spectacle cobra, two type of vipers, and common krait are there. So everybody mistakes the rat snake for the cobra because they look similar, but they don't have hood. So they just go try to harm. So we tell people, so the only way the snake knows that somebody is around is by the ground vibration. So
Mm,
there are no ears for the snake, vision is limited, and they are purely carnivorous. It's very misunderstood. So it's like they cannot digest milk at all. God has not made them to digest milk at all. It's like you're putting diesel in a petrol vehicle. Any snake drinking milk will die. So you must have seen a lot of YouTube videos where the snakes are drinking milk. That is because the snake charmer has starved the snake for 3 to 4 weeks. So if you give milk, it will drink milk. The snake drinking milk will die. So he'll
mm,
throw the snake and take another snake. So they play like I told you, very important in ecology. We tell people if you see a snake, just stand still, don't move. You can talk and give it an escape route. It is not at all interested in human beings. So
mm,
now the you hear all this Nagin and all that Sat Janam, 7 lives, it comes. So the guy got such a limited intelligence, he can't save himself. Have you ever seen a snake running? He can hardly move. So he can't save his own life in this life. Where will he come in 7 janams? 7 janam में कहाँ आएगा? But
mm,
the ancestors knew the importance of the snake. So they
mm,
created the myths many centuries ago so that people don't harm the snakes.
mm,
So they play a very, very important role. So that's why here at PFA we have a snake temple.
mm,
We literally worship snakes because the huge uh, contribution they do to ecology.
mm. Right. One habit that keeps you strong.
It is discipline with empathy. So I have a good discipline with me, and I have empathy also for the voiceless who are treating. So this is one habit which everybody should have. Keep it strong. So discipline with empathy.
Amazing, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, it's a
This was
pleasure.
just amazing. So, what's your last message that you would want to give me as well as the audience?
So my message has always been, friend, have save ecology. So be with nature. We don't go against nature. So you want your younger ones, your future generation to see some wildlife. Like sparrow has disappeared. So many species are disappearing. So save ecology. You can do very minute little things like I told you, putting a earthen pot with water, trying to have awareness, trying to help an animal which is injured, and of course, anything you feel is going protesting against nature, anybody is unnecessarily cutting a tree, harming nature, ecology. So protest really helps. So we have joined in many protests, and successful results have come. So cutting of trees, of encroaching lakes, we have stopped. So we can do this. And of course, don't use plastics at all.
Mm.
It takes years for them to degrade, and a plastic tube has been found in a tortoise, in the ocean, in thousands of feet away, deep into the
Oh,
ocean. See how far a plastic tube used to for soft drink has reached. So it can reach anywhere. So have something for the think about the future generations uh, of your children, grandchildren. They need to see some life, some wildlife, some plants. So save ecology.
thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your beautiful message. Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much,
much.
audience, for being a part of this episode. Looking forward to have you all in my next episode. Before that, we have put the helpline numbers in the description below. If you find any animal injured, you can just call up that number to save that animal. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.